Destiny 2 fucking sucks. For the sake of saving time, I'm going to split this review into 3 parts called Story, Multiplayer, and the In-Between. And basically, I'm just going to rate each of them individually so that way you know how good or bad each one is. Spoiler alert, most of them are bad. The story is unimaginative, uninspired, and basically doesn't break any new ground that we haven't seen in Destiny already. While it's hard to argue against the fact that, yes, Destiny 2's story is better than Destiny 1 in most parts, it still doesn't really seem to have any kind of substance when compared to any other games, or even games that Bungie itself was making over 10 years ago. The basic premise is that the Cabal attack the last city, you're left powerless and stranded as the rest of the Guardians and Zavala evacuate off-world, and then you're left to be found by Hawthorne Ex Machina and embark on a journey to regain your light and gather up the remaining Vanguard who have now been scattered across the system for an absolutely shit ton of ridiculously irrelevant reasons. Zavala is on Titan because he wants to evacuate all the survivors of the last city attack, even though there's an entire other side of the planet all around Earth, which the Cabal aren't invading, as evidenced by the farm and Hawthorne and basically the entirety of the EDZ being relatively untouched by the Red Legion. But no, he wants to go all the way to Titan for some reason, and then realizes, whoopsie, it's invaded by an enemy race for really no reason other than to generate this whole, oh, we gotta get the band back together feeling. Cade disappears because he's looking for a Vex teleporter, which we haven't even heard about, nor has it been talked about in the story or the grimoire or at any point in Destiny's history until this very moment, to once again be kind of an ex machina just to get us onto Gull's ship for the final climax. And Ikora has gone to Io for, guess what, quote-unquote answers, which basically means Bungie doesn't really know why she went to Io, she just went there searching for answers, and the moment that you talk to her, she's like, alright, yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah, there's nothing for me here on Io. It's okay, let's just go. So none of the Vanguards missing, especially Ikora, really have any relevance to the plot other than to stretch out and artificially lengthen the story's runtime, which is a move by Bungie to mask how little substance there actually is. Then you've got the Almighty, which is this giant machine shoehorned into the second half of the story, which essentially destroys suns for no other real purpose than to artificially create this sense of rush or tension that you've got to hurry up and speed along to the climax. The rest of general writing, as far as dialogue and actual plot goes, is pretty shoddily written, especially since the quote-unquote dark storyline that we got about all the Guardians losing their light and becoming powerless doesn't really exist anymore, considering that every 15 to 20 seconds somebody pops up some quip as though they saw how popular Cade was during the Taken King storyline and decided, hey, let's make every character's dialogue a Cade joke, because that's fun, right? Some of the characters are just absolutely horrendous. Failsafe's concept is actually a pretty decent one, the malfunctioning bipolar AI that kind of alternates between aiding you and being very unpleasant. However, it's so poorly done, it's absolutely ridiculous to believe that this is the same Bungie who worked on a masterpiece like Halo 3 10 years ago. Even fucking Ortis from Warframe is a better example of the concept they tried to pull off from her, and that's a fucking free-to-play game while Bungie is a AAA studio.
Everything in orders, operator? Is that a pun? I will attempt to bypass this fault. Ordis has been getting tired of waiting patiently for your return, operator.
I can help you, but I'm gonna be super unpleasant about it. In my defense, I tried to warn him. He's like, not that smart. Cade unit, you are near the remains of my reactor core. Welcome to the Exodus Black, where all your dreams come true.
Asher Mir is the single worst character in gaming that I have experienced in a decade. I remember watching Monk all those years ago and wondering, you know, Monk has solved all these hundreds of crimes so far perfectly, and he's been right off the bat every single time. Why don't people just fucking trust his instinct anymore instead of saying, oh, you fucking idiot, it's absolutely not that way. Asher Mir is the epitome of that character who goes, oh, you dunce, there's no way it's that, even though you've been proven right this time. How many different conflicts have we solved over the course of our years in Destiny, yet this guy has the gall to treat you like one of the lowest foolhardy people who runs around like a chicken with their head cut off. It's absolutely insane how poorly written this guy's dialogue is.
Ikora tells me that Commander somebody, I don't care, has a plan to attack the so-called Almighty. A plan unsupported by any data. We shall use it to assess the Almighty's capabilities. Then we will tell Zavala precisely why his plan is wrong. Go. All this talk wastes my time.
Whoa, the drill's on.
What? What?
Hawthorne is a Mary Sue who constantly speaks condescendingly to you about how bad the city is for having walls, because apparently walls equal prison. I genuinely wondered while I was playing whether it was actually just bad writing or whether it was some kind of subliminal like political messaging due to today's political climate, but whatever, I'm not going to go into it. Long story short, she hates everything to do with the city pretty much, until finally by the end of the game she's kind of like, you're alright. She has 0 flaws, but she has tons of strengths, has never shown in a moment to be incapable of solving a situation, and her fucking hawk is there for some reason? It's never actually alluded to what Lewis does exactly. He's just kind of there. He finds you in the beginning of the game, and then she makes some really stupid remark about, Lewis is the best pilot we got. Really? And then there's the Guardian themselves, who to this day is still mute and does not speak, because Bungie thinks that silent protagonist equates to completely mute protagonist who is quiet for no other reason other than we don't want to shell out the money for extra voice actors. Our Guardian is so quiet and never has any opinion of their own that it comes across more as though Ghost is the main character of the Destiny franchise and you're just the guy who gets him to where he needs to go. He's the one who hacks all the things. He's the one who you hold square and then he does all the little equations that solve whatever conflict you need to solve. All you do is carry him around. He's not the guy who lives in your backpack, you're the guy carrying his house. But no, Bungie, please continue telling me about how having a silent protagonist with the personality of a cardboard box and no opinions is the superior narrative way to tell a story.
Have you got that? Say you got it. Say something!
Then Bungie decided to fix their issue of giving us characters they wanted us to care about, but without any real reason to care about them, by making those characters, Ikora, Cayde, and Zavala, more worthy of our concern, and then giving us more characters that they want us to care about, but no real reason to care about, which would be Devrim Kay, Sloane, Failsafe, and Asher Mir, who all play a part in the story at some point, but don't have any relevance to the final plot whatsoever, or any backstory or additional development that would lead us towards caring about them. The level design itself is tedious at times, considering that most of it is run to this location and fight enemies until you get to open up this door or whatnot, but it does have its moments where level design is genuinely fun and innovative, like when you're on the Almighty, easily the best level in the game. However, they don't even let you replay these levels unless it's one of the 3 offered during the week for Ikora and ranking up something. That's right. Replaying the story missions has turned into a grind. The fucking campaign! The music is the only thing other than level design that I can really give a complete 100% kudos to. The music is spot on, it's awesome, it's amazing, I love it, I would totally buy the soundtrack if I supported every other decision that Bungie made, but I simply cannot buy the soundtrack in good conscience knowing how badly Bungie has fucked up on the rest of the game. Multiplayer is pretty much more of the same opinion. It sucks. It's turned into a 4v4 for all modes. That means no smaller 2v2 modes, no 3v3 modes, no big 6v6 modes. Everything is 4v4 whether you like it or not. And sometimes this actually has a decent effect, like in Clash. And other times this has a negative effect, like in Control, where literally you only have 3 flags to capture, but you have 4 people. It doesn't so much turn into territory control as it does just people running from one point to the other. gunplay actually just turns into people peeking a corner and taking one pot shot at you before running away the moment that they get hit and letting their bunny finish you off. Team shotting is everything. Lone wolfing is non-existent and completely punished, so, you know, kind of depends on what style you like to play. If you like Rainbow Six Siege or a really shitty version of it, then here you go, Destiny 2 is for you. But don't worry, your favorite part about Destiny 1 multiplayer, which is where 1 or 2 guns are basically the entire meta, is still present in Destiny 2. We definitely fixed all the problems with, you know, everyone just running like Last Word or Thorn from the first game. You know, at least that's 2 guns that everyone runs. At least that's 2 guns. Plus, there's balancing issues like the fact that Warlocks get a 10-foot radius of a constantly healing regenerative pool that guarantees you about an overshield. Titans get this impenetrable wall that can be taken down with a ton of shooting, but it lasts long enough to where it's already more than halfway recharged by the time that it dies naturally due to time. And then Hunters get a gimpy little dance off to the side, which saves you about 3 seconds to reload your weapon. Yeah, and has the same recharge time as the others. Yeah, that sounds totally balanced. I don't know, it sounds balanced to me, guys. And finally, the in-between. Shaders are now consumables, which are one-time use for each piece of armor, and this applies both legendary and rare. So if you like a rare piece of armor, by all means, use a shader on it, but then that wastes a spot for your legendary, which basically means that nobody anywhere is using any shaders whatsoever because we're all too afraid to use them and possibly waste a slot on a piece of armor that could easily be replaced in another few games or so. It's the same exact issue that we had with Chroma in D1. You can't load up specific strikes anymore. You can only play one playlist, which basically means that you could get lucky and play a different strike every single time you search, or you could be like most people and get duplicates over and over and over and play the same strike because you just can't load up this one strike that you haven't been able to play because you can't load it up individually. All in all, I have to say that Destiny 2 is literally Destiny 1, but with a better lighting engine. It's not Destiny 1 at the end of its lifespan. It's not Rise of Iron Destiny 1 that you're buying. It's like right before Dark Below, maybe Dark Below levels, but it's pretty much vanilla Destiny that you're getting. All those quality of life changes like they've done to Infusion, like they've done towards shader systems and kiosks and all that jazz, all of that is gone. The D2 official team did not keep pretty much 90% of the changes that the live team made for the better to improve Destiny's longevity. I give Destiny 2 a 3.5 out of 10 purely for the reason that Bungie thought that they could package the same game and ship it to me under a different title, and I wouldn't be smart enough to notice exactly what they did. There's no improvement, there's no innovation, there's only 1 step forward and 4 steps back for every little change that they've made to this sequel. Sorry, this quote-unquote sequel. If by the end of this review you still think that I'm a cuck and you want to go ahead and buy Destiny 2, by all means, buy it. Go ahead. I can't tell you how to spend your money. And I had high hopes for Destiny 2, and even had faith that they would improve upon what we gave them feedback for in the first game. But the fact of the matter is that they haven't, and I'm just trying to save you in the long run from what is ultimately a failure of an attempt to make an actual sequel and simply just a large expansion to the first game.